All right, some of the biggest names in social media are reporting back-to-back earnings next week. Twitter is set to release their second quarter numbers on Tuesday, and then Facebook is scheduled for Wednesday. We've got LinkedIn on Thursday. We have all you need to know ahead of these all-important results. Back with me now, Jack Howe, Barron's senior editor, and we have JP Mangalendan. He is Mashable technology reporter. Guys, thanks to both of you for joining us. JP, let me start with you. What is the name of the game when it comes to social media right now? Is it mobile? Is it new users? Is it engagement? What's the key thing everybody cares about?
So for Facebook, we're talking primarily about mobile ad revenue growth. For them, it's growing about 83% year over year. It's pushing their revenues along. It's the largest significant driver of their revenues. And so investors will be taking a very close look at what those numbers will look like in the quarter, and also whether or not they're accumulating new advertisers as well. For Twitter, it's largely about user growth in general, both across desktop and mobile. Over the last 3 quarters, they've seen very sluggish user growth, barely any growth at all. And I think investors will want to take a look at whether or not that sluggish growth will continue.
Jack, these are very different companies, right? Yeah. I mean, we put them together because they're under the umbrella of social media, but in terms of making money, they're very different.
Facebook is a company that actually makes money for its investors, and it's going to make more money. It's growing revenues at a pace which suggests that it's really going to begin to leverage its expenses better, get some rapid earnings growth going forward. And also, this is a business where you need a lot of scale. The people who want to spend money in online advertising, they want a big platform. Twitter is a totally different story. It's not profitable, especially when you back out the employee stock awards. It has some sales growth, some good sales growth, but from a very low base, and the user growth is very questionable right now.
JP, I mean, Twitter's in a tough spot. What do you see them doing going forward?
Well, Jack Dorsey, who is interim CEO, he took over once Dick Costolo stepped down July 1. He's basically said there wouldn't be a change in strategy, but we're already seeing a huge change in strategy, at least where personnel is concerned. You've seen a lot of people sort of move. I think they're going to double down very much on improving and trying to boost and expand their advertising products, but also try to build upon partnerships they already have. Like, for instance, earlier this year, they had a partnership with Google, basically where you'll see tweets show up in your Google search results. For Twitter, it's basically about expanding its reach beyond Twitter.com into other areas of the internet, so that way, once internet users actually see these tweets, they're compelled to sign on and get Twitter accounts of their own.
Yeah, Jack, do any of those things you just mentioned sound like revenue drivers to you? I mean, does that sound like a way to make money?
Maybe. I think when I look at social media right now, everybody talks about Facebook, Twitter. Don't count out Google, right? Everybody thinks about Google Plus, and that's kind of a dud. Well, let's not forget, YouTube is a pretty social platform. You put up your videos, people comment on them, and so forth. That's becoming very profitable. That's going to have 40% of the revenue of Facebook next year, and that's a side business for Google. So, talking about revenue growth, I think that's a tremendous revenue growth right now.
JP, what's the next social media company? Because, whenever you talk to younger people, they're like, ugh, nobody's on Twitter or Facebook anymore. You're on there, so no younger person is on it at all. What's the new thing that we haven't heard of but is going to be very hot?
Well, it depends on sort of what you consider sort of hot and what you haven't heard of. But I would probably say it's Meerkat and Periscope. Basically, those live streaming apps that you have on your phones. Basically, I can broadcast this interview, a concert, any sort of live event, and broadcast it to many, many hundreds, if not thousands, of followers. And that's starting to really pick up steam, particularly with Periscope, which Twitter owns.
I think, Melissa, whatever it is, it'll have a name like a Muppet, like Smurfler or Big Cheeks or Fling Flong, any one of those.
Right, perfect. All right.
Follow me on Fling Flong, by the way.
Perfect. I can't wait to see what your handle is on there. Yeah. Guys, thanks to both of you.